All right guys, there's no jokes in this video because it's very serious and actually more important because this is really how I've been starting new e-commerce businesses over and over and over. I just started another one this month. I'm launching another one tomorrow, and I have obviously the other ones that I already showed on this channel. But this is a system I think I've just perfected from all of my mistakes, and I don't think I'll ever stop doing this. So what I'm gonna be doing in this video is kind of breaking it down into several main parts. And I'm telling you, each part is so damn crucial. You have to follow it to avoid all these mistakes. So this is not only how you can start a brand under $200, but you can honestly, if you do this right, you can get paid to start your brand, literally in the startup phase. And so my arm is dying. Let's get into it. All right guys, so right now we're actually inside one of my Google stores, and I wanna show you kind of a store that's after the fact, you know, after kind of following this process. And then I'm gonna show you another store that I recently started this month, and you can kind of see the consistent trends. So in my other YouTube videos, I kind of went over this store and I revamped it. And you can see I literally actually just started it September 14th. September 15th is finally when my ads ran. And the very next day, $450 in sales. Next day, 1,000, and the day after, 1.1K. And then today, it's looking to be kind of the same trend. And as far as profitability, this is having a run rate of anywhere to $400 to $700 net profit a day. And once again, this is actually all through Google. Facebook, you will not really have that great of margins, but with these kind of automated Google stores, I mean, Google ads, when you do it right, like how I show on the channel, they're so much cheaper in a way and more effective that, I mean, your margins are absolutely insane. So this is good, but let me show you kind of what I'm gonna be taking you through the process of. Now, this is the brand. I actually started this store September 2nd, started running ads September 3rd, and you can see over the course of 2 days, made over $2,000 in sales. So it's very quick. And if we go into the campaigns, you can see that overall, I only spent $170 to generate $2,000. So overall profitability for that would have been over $1,000 net profit in just a couple days. Now, what I want to show you is kind of what we're looking for and what the game plan is every single time I look to start a new brand. So I'm going to kind of come back to analyzing the ads and showing you what I look for, because the first thing is actually the product. Right here is actually a really good example of a product I would do and test with this exact method. And the reason why is because it kind of passes a couple criteria. The first one, there's an immense amount of search. It's about 50,000 people a month literally searching for a gumball machine, or at least typing it in. And when I look at these kind of front listings, I could see that this one right here is pretty far up for a very generic keyword. And what that tells me is that this has a high click-through rate, a high relevancy, and Google really favors this listing, and they would have probably excluded this keyword if it wasn't profitable. So they're profiting quite well. And now that's like kind of check mark number 2, is I kind of look for competition. Even though there's other, you know, sellers or gumball machines, this is in its own category of itself. And also, if you scroll down, no one's bidding on search, and you know I really do like search. So if we look actually for the supplier, what I really liked is I found a supplier right here, and this is actually over 4 feet tall, spiral, and it does the same exact thing, and we can get it for $145. Now, I want to step back real quick, because now I kind of want to get into the process of what we're doing and what I'm looking for. So first thing was, yes, I'm looking for a product, and like another example of a product is actually this, like L-shaped desk. I'm looking for not products that are expensive. That's not the case. I get a couple questions. Are you looking for high ticket or low ticket? I'm not looking for either. I'm looking for good opportunity. So what I mean by that is when I see that, let's just say L-shaped desks, what I'm looking for overall is first, good margin. I want to have at least a 50% gross margin, you know, after cost of goods and shipping. Because what you'll notice is that if you see that you can get a product and you have really good margin, that's a good sign that there's low competition, or else naturally, you know, supply and demand, the price would decrease, and so would the margin. So That's one of my big check marks, is to see, okay, what is the margin on these? Even if you see a bunch of sellers and they're all selling for the same price, but the margin is good, that is a good sign. That means it's not really that saturated, because everyone, I guess there's enough demand. So if we're to go back to this example, I'm looking and I'm seeing, all right, first thing I'll do is I'll try to find a couple suppliers, and I'll message them with a script that's very similar to this. Hi, I'm interested in your product. I'd actually like to order a couple samples first, and then how much would it be for 10 units? You need at least either 10 or 20 units, whether it's a high ticket product or a low ticket product. And the reason why is because we're gonna be testing quality, but I'm gonna get into that like a little bit later. But you're gonna ask them, can I have 10 or 20 units, and how much would it be if we ship it to, and then you need to give it to your address. And the reason why is because you wanna include shipping, and you wanna see how much it'll be to ship to the US or Australia, or wherever you live, right? And then the second thing you wanna ask is the processing, and if they have stock. So how long is the processing time, and do they have stock? And you wanna make sure that the processing time is at least reasonable, maybe 5-7 days, and the shipping time would hopefully be 7 days as well. Now, we're not gonna actually go out and buy the stock yet. We just need a rough quote, because our next objective, and exactly what we're gonna do now we just need to create a quick listing. Like, guys, this is probably the most simple thing. Now, what I wanna show you is actually how I would structure a really good shopping campaign briefly. I've covered it in some of my other videos, but I wanna show you actually how I started from the beginning. So what I would do actually, if I was selling this product in particular, I would actually put in gumball machine first in the listing, because this has the most search. And then the second part, I would actually put spiral gumball machine. Yeah, so right here, spiral gumball machine, which has 1,000 searches a month. And I use this Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere tool. And this kind of gives me the rough estimated search volume. And then the next thing that I would do is type in a bunch of variations of gumball machine and put it into my listing. You need a very, very kind of a beefed up listing, but it doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning, because you just need to start ranking. Now, what I wanna show you now is back inside the campaign of kind of what I did when I first started. All right, so now I kind of wanna take you day by day from my first initial launch, what I like and what I look for, the metrics, and why I like this kind of overall, and immediately started to say, okay, I'm gonna go all in on this. So what I look for is, first of all, I started it actually on the 3rd. So we're gonna go to the 3rd right now. And you can see that when I started on the 3rd, I spent $14. My average cost per click was $1.80, but my click-through rate was 3.5%, which is extremely high, and that's very good. Because then the next day, on the 4th, I spent $30 and I got a sale, and my return on ad spend was a 16 ROAS, meaning every dollar I spend, I get $16 back, which is absolutely incredible. This is a really good sign, but my average cost per click also reduced. Now the next day on the 5th, we'll go here. Now, $1.12 cost per click, I spent $70 and I got 2 sales. And so my return on ad spend was a 21. Now, once I saw this and kind of saw that it was a very quick early trend, I immediately cut off the ads. And what I want to show you that I didn't show you quite yet is this. Then on the 6th, what I did was I refunded all the customers. Now, this is so important. This is exactly how you're gonna be able to save so much money, test your idea, and see whether or not this business can help you quit your job or give you another side income. Because the 2 main things and the 2 main questions you're really trying to answer right in the beginning is, can you get sales when you advertise with an ad very quickly, and is it profitable? And that's why we did those 2 things, the supplier and then also running an ad. And what you notice is we literally got to test our idea for $170. We got to see kind of the run rate. And so the run rate actually and the potential of this business is probably gonna be about 10,000 to maybe even 15,000 a month net profit, almost on autopilot. I mean, it's pretty close to autopilot, which is amazing. However, what I've also been doing is, since I refunded all the customers, right, which doesn't matter because I didn't send them out the product. So I'm not out anything. I'm literally only out whatever I spent on my advertisement, which was $170. Now I'm actually gonna be serious negotiating with my suppliers, and I'm gonna actually explain kind of the next steps after that. But what you can do to actually recoup even $170 is you can email the customers, give them a small discount, and they will purchase again because they already paid full price for your product. Of course, they would take the discount. Now, before I go any further, I just wanna say what's realistic when you first launch your ads. Like if I actually go into this campaign right here, so this is my other campaign that I first launched, and I had a very similar story. So you could see that I had 11 conversions. This is September 15th to the 18th, so about 3 days. And my return on ad spend was an 8.5. And so this was extremely profitable. But when you first launch, what you're looking for is actually a return on ad spend of at least like a 3.5 up to, I usually see a 6. So that's how I know, you know, I'm in a really good opportunity. When you see over that, that's how you know, like, oh man, like this is gonna kill it. So if you're about a 3.5 to a 4, even a 6, like that is great. You're not always gonna see a 12. Like it's really hard. It'll take some practice to kind of find like which are the best products, how are you gonna advertise. You have to put in all those moving pieces together in order for you to just nail it every single time. But it's definitely worth it. Now, the next steps are very important and will save you so much money, because you might be like, hey, Charlie, this is gonna work. Why not just order a bunch of stock and let's start selling? What you wanna do is first order 10 samples, right? 10 to 20 samples. You're gonna get them sent to your place, and you are gonna ship out the product yourself. Because first, when you get it shipped to you from the supplier, you're gonna vet the product. You're gonna see like any cosmetic, like weird things. If the manual is all in Chinese, or the boxes look extremely damaged, or whatever you ordered is broken, you immediately know there's a huge problem with that supplier, and you're gonna have to either try a different supplier or work with that one to make modifications. So that's kind of quality check number one. The second quality check is you can email the customers that you got a sale from and send it out to them, and then they will tell you literally within the first day if there's any weird problems, because most of the time people will actually use the product the very first day, or they won't use it until like a month later. It's kind of odd, but they will tell you really quickly, you know, what's going on and all that stuff. And then you'll know by the 7th day after the customer received it. If you still don't have any complaints or anything odd, then you know you're in the green. If you do, which is honestly most of the time, you're gonna have like a couple things like I said, like the manual, or just like one of the products might not work properly, or has like something weird or falling off or even breaking. Then what you can do is, first of all, that's a good thing. That's like your moat, because then other people are gonna completely mess up their business and burn customers from the start. You're then gonna go to the supplier, and the supplier can fix those issues immediately. Then after that, then you will go ahead and order all of this stock and get it shipped to your place, or shipped to a third-party fulfillment center. So that is actually the literally one-to-one how you can start your business, not even for $200, actually almost completely free, as long as you kind of follow this method. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'm gonna be releasing more videos, so stay tuned for that, and subscribe if you haven't, so that way you know right when the video releases. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.